Flosstube, good morning. Pam here, stitching between the lines. It is, I always have to look at the camera or at the calendar, even though I just set it so I could take the picture that shows in the beginning. Thursday, January 3rd, the year 2019. Happy New Year. Hope it's been a good New Year, start to your year. We had a good Christmas. Busy. Did all the normal things, the usual things, traditional things for us, which I talked about before. Kids have all returned to their respective homes, and life will settle back down. My kitty cats are a bit nervous because one of the kids just left today and took a lot of things out the door, and that makes us nervous that people packed up bags and left. So maybe they'll come around when they hear my voice because they'll be happy that somebody's home. I'm leaving soon to go do errands and whatnot, but at any rate, they'll wear themselves out and fall asleep. So, stitching, that's why we're here. There's been stitching. Not a ton, not really a ton. I keep seeing the light flicker. That doesn't usually happen, I don't think, except that's very gray. There was a statistic on the news a few weeks ago about how many days of sunshine we'd had like in the last 2 months, and it was like 3, and it hasn't changed. So there's no waiting for a sunny day. This is just what it's going to be. It's kind of grim. It's only hovering around freezing, which is kind of warm for this time of year. So we're not really complaining. It's just affecting the light. Anyway, we'll try not to move around a lot. I don't know. I don't know what makes it happen. Anyway, let's do the stitching thing. Let's see where we should start. I have been juggling lots of things around, so my pile over here is large, but it isn't all really stitching. I'll start with my birthday start. This I started on my birthday, right? I'm like out to lunch. Pretty sure I did. Lavender and Laces, Spirit of Christmas 2. I just brought the picture. Didn't bring the pattern piece to read you the official title. Anyway, it's a slow go, as I said before when I showed it. It's on a piece of opalescent. I felt like the description didn't tell me anything. It was like, I don't know, midnight blue opalescent something. I don't know where it came from. I ordered it online. So I was struggling a little bit with something to do this on, and somebody, I had seen it done on a dark blue piece of fabric, so that's why I went. My piece of opalescent, which is actually a different color than what I had seen online. Let me see if I can get close to the camera. The opalescent part kind of looks green, so I wasn't really sure how that would work out, but so far I think it works pretty well. It's a very slow go because it's hard to see the holes. It's hard to distinguish where the holes are when those fibers run through, those opalescent fibers run through, as well as the regular fabric fibers. So it's hard. It really is kind of hard. And I don't work in a frame. I just work in hand. So there's nothing that like pulls it and stretches it or anything. So it's just slow. I try to only stitch something that's next to something else so that I hopefully have that sort of grounding. It takes a while. For example, when I'm branching off and making my way down like this, it's a very slow go, and oftentimes something has to come out before I can move ahead again. So all that I have accomplished is across his front and over the sleeve, and I'm just starting down into what would curve around and turn his elbow, and then I have some of his mitten done. So there's no big race. It does take concentration though, so it's not the first thing I go to if I just have a quick little bit of time to stitch. But when I do get going on it, I'll get a little section done, and so there's, an accomplishment there. And then I had a Christmas Day start. I know I talked about before that this is what I was going to do on Christmas Day, and it is indeed what I started on Christmas Day. Quaker Christmas 2 by Bygone Stitches. It's a huge piece. Ever since Dina started it, or was working, yeah, started it, worked on it, finished it, framed it. I've wanted to do it. And I bought overdyed, hand-dyed flosses when I was up in way north in New York at a wool store. Their main focus is rug hooking. And I bought these two threads, colors to use, and thought they were lovely, and looked online and got the quantity I would need and bought all the skeins, like 12 skeins at least, of the red. And this is what it looks like. I am a little disappointed that it really looks pink. I don't really change a lot of colors for good reason, because I'm bad at it. But I'm not stopping. I'm not quitting. I'm not going to redo it. It is going to be what it is. It's on a big piece of 32 count vintage country mocha. I didn't even cut it down. I was afraid of the math. So I worked all the way across the top. And so really all I have is about, once I come out a good 3 inches, I have about 4 or 5 inches on that way. I'm assuming I'll have some length I can cut off. God help me. I went all the way across. So that's the top, the first 2 pages. There's 8 pages and they are in 4 columns of 2. So 2 pages across the top. And I'm starting to drop down and go back across. At some point, what I'd like to do, whether it really happens or not, is I'd like to come over to this right side and drop all the way down to the corner, and then I'll know, then I can cut my fabric. But in the meantime, I'm just enjoying the process. This is Santa's boot I started, and then I ran out of thread. My objective really was to use up the thread in my needle and then move on to the green and do the green words there. So it's coming along, and started Christmas Day, and this is where I got last night, and I don't work on it every evening, but it is primarily only in the evening. So I like it. It's a good one. I wish it was a little more red than pink, but so be it. I'm not starting over. I didn't invest in all this thread to pull it out and start over. I'm using one of the thread palettes I got at Down Sunshine Lane. They're just so cute. I love them. I love a thread palette. But it's good to not be using a ton of threads, so you can just put them on and not worry about what color it is. So a pattern that only uses, you know, a handful of colors, it's a really fun, easy way to keep your fabrics under control. Oh, my New Year's Day start. I was trying to go chronologically. New Year's Day, I started a wordplay. I had intended to start these a number of times, and I didn't. So this became my New Year's Day start, and I had kitted November and December. So I just pulled one of them out to start. I would like to do these in the year 2019. I am not putting restrictions on them. If I feel like doing, this is what I'm working on in the same spot where I'm working on the Spirit of Christmas. So there's a big difference in the complexity of these kinds of patterns. So this can be the quick pickup. I just feel like putting in a few stitches here and there, or making it look like I accomplished something, than wordplay. So I am happy that I finally started these. I've been talking about starting them, or if I did any kind of monthly in the year 2019, that it be something out of my stash. So here we go. On New Year's Day, I really only did the 3 words. These I did yesterday for a little bit. So I think it was a really slow start to only get that many words done, because sometimes you feel like letters go really fast. But I had some things I had to do on New Year's Day, so I didn't get as much done as I would have thought. Prior to Christmas, okay, after I finished Let Freedom Ring, sorry, I have to check. Sorry, I just see one of my daughters had to take her car in this morning, so I knew she would probably be sending a text at some point. Finished Let Freedom Ring, and had about a week before it was time for Christmas start, which was the Quaker Christmas 2. Here's a kitty. He's not the pick-me-up kitty, but I might be able to. So I pulled out something that I had started last fall of 2017. Oh, Christmas Tree. I believe I bought this on Stash Unload, and I believe I had the fabric, and when I was out in Minnesota, I got the threads because I knew this fabric would be kind of hard to match threads, or I would just want to take it and really look for something kind of special. And I honestly don't know the fabric. I'm sorry. This was probably in a package from before I was really good about keeping, track of the fabrics as much. Murphy. This is Murphy. This is big boy. He's a big boy. He doesn't let anybody pick him up but me. And he wants to actually walk up here, which I'm going to discourage because, oh God, he's a big cat. He's going across the keyboard, I bet, or to the window. Sorry, hang on. Murphy. Come here. Look, I made you a spot. There, did you get all up close and personal with Murphy? I just made him a spot so he can sit in the window. So anyway, sorry about that, but I know people like to see the cats, although that's not anything near as cute and charming as some of the kittens I've been seeing. Oh, Christmas Tree, had some green fabric, started it in Minnesota, and then I didn't get very far in Minnesota. I had this quarter done over here, just this. And I kept not getting it out because I kept thinking that piece is going to take a lot of concentration because you need to careful, there's not exactly a rhythm to it. But when I pulled it out after Let Freedom Ring, I couldn't believe how fast this stitched up. And I finished it in just a matter of maybe 2 weeks. It was done before Christmas. And I did it with some Karen silks. I bought 2 skeins of this. It says the color is 5,000. And I used all of one skein except for this little bit. I really thought I'd be going into the second one. So, at any rate, I have an entire skein of this lovely green left. Should I choose to do this again? I don't think I will. I don't know. It's stitched up quick, and it is really cute. But I don't have the exact same fabric anymore. I used my piece, and there you go. So that was a cute little finish, an unexpected finish. Let's call it that. So I'm just going to paw through my bags of stuff to see if there's anything else worth showing. There's no other, there's one other whip. This is just, I've been working on this here and there, little bits at a time. I've showed it a few times before. So this is what I worked on after I finished the Christmas tree. I got it out, went back to work on the houses. Look, there's thread in there and everything. I stopped mid-window stitching. Prior to picking it up, I had these houses done down here and a start up here on these. So I just did some roofs, some trees, some more houses, the truck. So my goal was to finish all the houses and then above the sky, the sky and stuff. And I feel like these will go quickly, but I don't know. We'll see. So everything's called for colors on a random piece of fabric. I've had this kitted up for years. And then, speaking of kitting things, I went on a little escapade of pulling out every pattern that looked good. And some of them have threads. Sometimes as I get them, maybe they have a few threads or I've put some threads with them. And also, I have to say, I will admit, this is not the first time I've done this. I kitted up all kinds of things last summer when Needlecraft Corner had their sale and their fibers were all on sale. And I went through everything, and that's a whole series of project bags downstairs. And I figured out what everything needed, and I bought all the threads, and oh gosh golly, I don't know if anything in any of these piles is anything I kitted up last summer. So what that means is there's not necessarily a guarantee that I will actually stitch any of these anytime soon. But I'm going to show you half of them because the other half I have a different plan for. I showed on Instagram the picture of empty project bags. Like I was happily accumulating empty project bags, which maybe I had 6 because I finished like Let Freedom Ring and oh, my Christmas list, that's off to the framers. That was a New Year's Day quick finish it because of the date issue that I put in 2019 instead of ripping out and making it 2018. And so anyway, I also was hoping Let Freedom Ring would be done by the time I went there, and she thought really it would be done soon, but she said that she'd have to check on her frame inventory. So I'm assuming something wasn't in stock. So anyway, Let Freedom Ring was not done at the framers. Oh, and then I finished various other things I've showed you. So mostly my project bags that I had empty were made by Mama Joan bags. Just the way it worked. It was no, I don't know. So anyway, here's On the Beach by Tra La La was one of my projects that's kitted up and ready to go. And I have a 3-drawer dresser, like a washstand size, full of fabric in little baskets in there. And I went through and I just picked out fabrics, and I actually had some of this unimpressive 28 count even weave that's white. I think I want to do it on white. And also, when I was putting all these fabrics with them, I did not have the blue. The blue's an over dye. The blue, I now have it. It's still in a bag downstairs. My order came, and I needed to just put with each pattern which over dye floss it's waiting for. So I didn't have the blue on hand to really make sure I was ordering a blue sky that would work. So I'm just going to stick with the white. And another one that I have patterned that I believe I've had for ages, Little House Needleworks Lakeside Lodge. Also, oh no, that's an actual piece of something over dyed. Picture this plus Mellow, which is actually what I did Let Freedom Ring on. It's one of those fabrics that's a good staple to always have in your stash because it's a very pretty neutral. And also what I made by Mama Joan bag is Little House Needleworks Seaside Summer Alphabet. Again, I've had it for ages. This actually has with it a classic Colorworks silk, which may be what it calls for, because I've actually had that thread in here for ages and ages and ages. Probably since the pattern came out. I put with that a Belfast Stormy Clouds, 32 count. Let's see how it looks like it matches up here. Not bad, not bad, not bad. Even if it's not as blue as it all looks, at least it looks like they're complementing colors. I don't stitch a lot of only one monocolor, mono whatever patterns, but they actually stitch up relatively quickly because you're not looking at symbols for color changes. You're only looking at symbols for location. So pretty. I like the color blue. Always go for the blues. I also kitted up, also in a Made by Mama Joan bag, hands-on designs, little pin keep. I don't know, a little pin keep in like a little Ort bag, Stitching by the Sea. Did this come out somewhere first to, I'm not really sure. I'm not really sure what I'll do with them when they're stitched. I put with it a piece of chocolate vanilla swirl, a 28 count from Silk Weaver. Chocolate vanilla swirl. It's going to be a kind of brown and white, like the title says. Lots of threads in there. I really should stitch this one soon because there's lots of threads out of my stash already in there. And then one last one. Oh no, two. There's two. Let's see. This one doesn't have vinyl on the front, so it's a surprise. Oh, this was a Christmas present last year. Christmas or birthday present last year. Autumn Harvest Sampler by Kathy Barrick. Isn't that pretty? I pulled that out thinking I was going to start it once, and then I didn't. I think fabric. I didn't have a fabric I liked. I picked Color and Cotton's treasure map for that, which I really think will be a good rendition. And in this one, I have all the threads are new. I can't be fussy enough to like twirl all my threads or anything. These will slowly make their way to being less organized. So I really think that's going to be a really pretty combination. So Color and Cotton's treasure map, 32 count. And then, because you know how I work on lots of smalls, the pattern that really I want to start first is a Cricut collection. Not in a fancy bag, just a plastic, just one of these kind of bags. It's giant. I really want to start Cricut collections from Sea to Shining Sea. I love it. It is. I saw it finished at Keepsakes over the summer. Patriotic, all kinds of things. It has all the features that I really like, and it is going on. Look at, you can tell right here. Picture This Plus Legacy. See, I put in there a slip of paper, and sometimes there are slips of paper. I just lose track of the slip of paper, especially once I start putting the threads away and stuff. So I'm looking forward to starting this one the most. Whether it's the first thing I pick up or not is a debatable point. And then I had some Christmas haul. Ooh, candy cane wishes. Isn't that beautiful? And plum pudding. Most of these being current new patterns from Brenda Gervais. I think most everybody has seen them. This one, the Scarlet Houses in the Pines. It's new, but it's the kind of thing that would catch my eye with quilts and woods and that kind of thing. So it is all kitted up and ready to go. And then this one, I just love this one, Country Cottage Needleworks Winter. That one's cute. Cute. I live in a greenhouse. My greenhouse isn't like a two-story colonial, though. But anyway, but it's surrounded by winter, so we have that. So those are the things I have here with me today to show you. Lots of stitching plans. Sorry. Not really sure why the computer lost its balance. I don't have a lot of plans for anything special in the next few weeks. I head to Florida soon, and then that's where I really get some dedicated stitching time, generally. What else? I really hope 2018 ended on a very sad note, I think. I have two friends who lost their husbands, both untimely, too early. And I'm so sorry. I am so sorry for the things that have transpired and the things that have happened. I went to the calling hours for my one friend, and oh man, kids and grandkids, and it was sad. It was a sad occasion. So it's very unfortunate. I really hope that isn't a sign for what 2009 is bringing. 2019 is bringing us. It doesn't bode well. For me, 2019 is starting off just fine. We have lots of travel plans. I was jokingly telling somebody that we are in the travel phase of our life. We raised our kids. That phase is done. Put all 3 of them through college. That phase is done. They're all out in the world, living in their own places, starting their own lives. So it's a good time for us to be traveling. We have some very nice opportunities to travel that come through my husband's company. And so we will be taking advantage of at least one of those. He goes to like Las Vegas at least once a year, sometimes twice. He goes to Atlanta, time or two a year. Any of those times I could hitch a ride with him and go to those destinations, but mostly been there, done that a lot of the times. So, but we do have a big trip coming up. My quest to visit all 50 states in the United States. I don't know what the count is currently. Somewhere beyond the halfway point, but I'll be hitting another few states this year, so that'll be fun. 2, 3, 4. I think I got 4 new states last year. I don't know. It's an aspiration. At my age, it's a good thing to have goals. Besides stitch all the things, right? Besides that. So anyway, today is a day where I'm heading out to the grocery store. Most exciting. And doing those usual weekly errands. And then I hope to have some stitching time. The house is almost back together. I put up a huge village scene on either side of our fireplace. I take everything off the shelves and I put the whole village in there, and it's really grown over the years, and it really is fun to see it. Now I got to take it down. That's the last thing left is the village. And I'll get that put away. So usually my youngest daughter helps, but this year she helps me put it up. But this year she wasn't here when I put it up. And I almost always take it down by myself. So that's no change there. So anyway, I hope everybody's having a happy new year, and that they have some things to look forward to in the coming year. We'll see you. Bye.